guys, it's Will from Blizzard Lighting. I'm here with a Puck Q6W. I'm going to do a little video here to kind of walk you through all of the basic features of really any of the fixtures in the Puck series, including master-slave programming, setting in DMX mode, using them with our wiCICLE wireless DMX product, and then just some general tips and stuff to help you get the most out of your product. So like I said, this is a Puck Q6W. It's a 610 watt RGB W4-in-1 light LEDs, and I'm just going to plug the fixture in, and this is straight out of the box. And as you can see, straight out of the box, the fixture will go into sound active mode. So when I tap it, I get it to change colors here. That's the way they come out of the box, because when we after these are finished being built, we test them all and put them in a sound active mode, put them in a DMX mode to make sure everything's working correctly before they get shipped out to you. So when it's in sound active mode, what you're going to see on the back here is SOUN, that means sound active mode. And also, when it says SOUN like this, you can tell that the fixture is set as a master. And the reason you can tell that is because if we're set as a slave with no other LED light fixtures plugged into it, it wouldn't say sound, there would be no output out of it as well. The fixture would just be dark, and the display on the back here would say standby, STBY. And so with that, I'm going to show you first how you would set it as a slave, and then I'll take you through setting it back to being a master. I don't know if you can see this, I'll get some close-ups in a little bit, but here on the back, there's 4 buttons underneath the LED control panel. And on the back it says menu, down, up, and enter. So those are the buttons. So when I'm talking about the menu button, we're talking about the leftmost button, down, up, and then enter is the rightmost button. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to hit menu, until I see SL, and that looks like an N, but it's actually an M. SL, M like Mary, D. That stands for slave mode. And then I'm going to hit enter. And you see here, the fixture starts flashing MAST. That stands for master, like I said. The fixture's in master mode, so it's going to flash MAST here. If I press either the up or the down buttons, you can see that the fixture now will start flashing SLAV for slave. If I hit enter now, and I hold down the menu button for about 2 seconds, I've set the fixture into slave mode. And you can tell because now it says STBY, standby, and there's no output out of the fixture. So if you were setting up, say, 10 fixtures in a chain and you wanted one master to control the other 9 of them, you'd set the first one as a master, you'd set the other 9 as slaves. So you would have one set in sound active mode, a master, or fade mode, or color, preset mode, or a custom color, which I'm going to talk about in just a second, and then the rest of them you would set to slave, and they would display they would display standby until they were connected up to the master. Okay? We get a lot of questions about someone has a puck and they think that it's broken because it says STBY on the back and there's no light output. That's a feature of the fixture. It's going into standby mode waiting for a master signal. So I put it into slave mode. Now I'm going to take it back into master mode, and to do that I'm going to repeat the same thing I did to get it into slave mode. I'm going to hit menu until I see SLMD, and then I'm going to hit enter, and then I'm going to hit either the up or down button. There's only 2 choices in this menu, that's why I can do that. And now you see it says MAST again, and I'm going to hit enter. Now before, I held down menu for about 3 seconds, and the fixture went into slave mode. If I just leave it for about 10 seconds, it will also, after hitting enter, it will also go to the mode that I had just chosen. So just holding down the menu button for a couple seconds is just a quick shortcut. And now you can see the display again says SOUN for sound active, and it's in sound active mode. Okay? So next I'm going to show you a couple of the other options for when you're running standalone mode or master slave mode. Obviously you've seen sound active mode, and I'll show you how to get to that real quick, and then how to get to the other standalone modes. So if you hit the menu button, this time we're going to go to SH, and again it looks like an N, but it's actually an M, D. That stands for show mode. And I'm going to hit enter, and you see it's flashing sound. That's because right now we're in sound active mode. If I hit the up button, I'll see COLO. That stands for color preset mode. If I hit the up button again, now it says fade, which is a color fade mode. And up button again takes me back to sound. So if you ever want to set it to sound active, now you know where to go. let's say instead we want to set a preset color. Okay, so I'm going to use the up button and I'm going to go to COLO, like it says here. I'm going to hit enter. Okay, now, after I hit enter, as you see it says CO1 now, and I've got red. CO color 1 is red. Color 2, green. 3 is blue. 4 is white on this fixture. On an RGBA, Q6A or a Q12A or a puck RGBA, color 4 would be amber. The amber diodes would be on. Color 5 is going to be red and green together. Color 6 is going to be red and blue together. Color 7 is going to be red and white together. On an RGBA fixture, it would be red and amber together. Color 8 is blue and green together. Color 9 is green and white together. Color 10 is blue and white together. 11, this is red, green, and blue. 12 is green, blue, and white. This is red, blue, and white for 13. 14 is red, green, and white. And then color 15 is red, green, blue, and white all on. There are 15 preset colors in the puck RGBA, the puck Q6W, the puck Q6A, and the puck Q12W, and the puck Q12A. And right now I've got it set on color 15, which is every LED on full. Which brings me to my next point. A lot of people ask how it's possible to set a custom color in these without using a DMX controller, and it's pretty easy to do that because there's another feature in this called manual mode. And I'll be honest with you, manual mode is not exactly designed to use a custom color. What it's actually designed to do is subtly adjust the color temperature of the fixture or the overall color balance. But most people who are purchasing this fixture are more interested in using that feature for a custom color, and as it turns out, it works great for that. So what I'm going to show you how to do is how to use the manual settings to set a custom color. And you're going to use it in conjunction with color 15 on the puck RGBA or on any of the Q6s or Q12s. On the puck RGB or the puck 3, you're going to use color 7. There's 7 preset colors on the puck RGB and on the puck 3. So to get to manual mode, first, which is the first step we need to do, I'm going to hit menu again until I see MANU for manual. Okay, I'm going to hit enter. And now you see it says red, and if I go up, the next one is green, blue, and then white. Okay, so there's a manual setting for each different color diode, which makes sense when you think about it, right? So let's say that I want to make a nice, a light purple. You can use a lot of different color picker apps and what it did right now is it went back to color 15 because I didn't make a choice. So while I'm talking, I'll leave it here and then we'll go back to manual. There are a lot of free color picker apps out there for various smartphones, iPhones, stuff like that. If you do a quick search on the web, otherwise even Microsoft Windows Paint. Sorry, I'm not a Mac guy, so I don't know what the equivalent is, but you can use a color picker on that to find a color. They're not going to be exact, but it'll at least get you pointed in the right direction. I've got an Android phone and I've got a couple different little apps that allow me to pick colors, and it works real well. So anyway, we're going to go back to manual mode and we're going to start making our light purple. Well, if you were using a color mixer app, what you would find is that you're not going to need green to make light purple. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to go to green under manual and hit enter, and then as you can see I did. I'm sorry, take a step back here. When I first go into green, it says 255. That's the maximum level for each color. So by default and from the factory, the light is going to have each color set at 255. As you can see, if I go to red, it's at 255, green 255, blue is at 255, and white is at 255. Okay, 0 is the lowest. So since I'm not going to be needing any green, I'm going to turn green to 0. And you can either do that the long way by holding down and going all the way down to 0, or since we started at 255, if I hit up once, it spins back around and goes to 0. I'm going to hit enter to confirm that. And always, always, always remember to hit enter. Again, a lot of things happen where people think that they've hit enter, and they're not quite sure that something's working the way it should. Always make sure that you hit enter. Always double check your settings if you're having problems. But anyway, I hit enter on the green, took it down to 0, and immediately I've got a decently passable light pink, light purple. But I'd like to have it a little more saturated. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to turn down the white level a little bit too. So I'm going to go back to manual, and I'm going to go down this time to white, and I'm going to set this down to about halfway, so 128. Okay, and I'm going to hit enter to lock that in. You can see it's a nice looking color. Now if I hold down the menu button, okay, now I'm out of manual, and you see it went back to color 15. Now remember before, color 15 was every diode on full, red, green, blue, and white, all basically at 255. Now color 15 is the color I just preset using the manual function. So what I've basically done is I've taken the color that was white and I've made it into my custom color. Okay, that's how you set a custom color using any of the products. Now the one thing to be careful about on this is that those manual settings will go through to every other setting on the light, whether you're in standalone mode or in DMX mode. And again, people think something's wrong with my light, it's not displaying green. Well, in reality, what's happened is they maybe have turned off the green LEDs in manual mode and forgotten about it. I can show you what will happen. If I go to show mode, color mode, and I want to pick color 2, which should be green, right now green is turned down. If you look, I don't have any output. That would be pretty discouraging unless you took a step back and realized that, oh, I must have turned the green off. Manual mode. So I'll go ahead and I'll reset all these back to 255, and then our output will be good to go again. There we go. And now, if I go to color 2, color 2, and it's nice green again. So that would be how you use the preset colors and the manual color or custom color selection on any of the pucks. The next thing I'm going to show you is the built-in fade, which is another pretty useful feature. And that is also in the show mode menu. So if you're playing along at home, hit the menu button until you see SHMD and enter. And first we see sound, color, and then fade. And there you go. Hit enter on there, and you see that after you hit enter it says SP1, well, that means speed 1. And speed 1 through 8 are available. 1 is the fastest, 8 is the slowest, and that'll give you a fade. You cannot adjust the colors in the fade other than if you got real creative and maybe took some colors out using the custom color. Otherwise the fade is what it is, and it will just continue to do this until the light fixture is unplugged. And then as soon as it's plugged back in, it'll start fading again, just like before. That's the fade setting. One other real quick thing here in the show mode is, I forgot to show you, is after the colors, there's actually an auto function as well. So if you go all the way to color 15, or from color 1, you go down 1, it goes to auto. And like the fade, there's also speed settings here. And instead of being a fade, it's a color snap. And that's another thing that you can do with these guys. All right, so again, if you wanted to set up a whole bunch of light fixtures, a whole bunch of pucks that were all doing this auto thing in unison, you set the first one on auto, pick your speed, hit enter to confirm it, make sure that's set as a master, set the rest of them on slave. You'll be able to tell that because it'll say STBY for standby. Link them all together using DMX cable, and you'll be good to go. You can also use the wiCICLEs, and I'll talk about that in just a second, but real quick first, I'm just going to show you very, very simply how to set these guys in DMX mode. Okay, one thing I like about these a whole lot is that they will automatically go into DMX mode once they start receiving a DMX source. That goes for anything except for the wiCICLEs, and again I'll talk about that in a second, but if I were to plug a DMX cable into this that was hooked up to a DMX controller right now, it would go into DMX mode and it would start listening for DMX. Obviously, for those of you who are familiar with DMX, this is a total kind of rehash, but real quickly, how to set a DMX channel, or excuse me, the DMX address on this. Hit the menu button. The first thing in the menu is ADDR. hit enter. This fixture is at DMX channel 1, which you can tell because it says A001. This again is how it will come from the factory. If I want to set it to a different channel, I can do that using the up and down buttons. And hit enter, and it'll go back to ADDR. And then if I hold on the menu button for the 3 seconds, or if I wait about 10 seconds, it'll lock that choice in. Since there's not DMX signal going into this right now, you can see that it's gone back into the auto chase that I had it set on before. If there were a DMX signal, it would display the DMX address in the back here, and you would be able to control the fixture in DMX mode. Which brings me to the next thing real quickly. There are, in all of the pucks, there are 2 different channel modes. There's one that we call the basic or color mix mode, and then there's the extended control mode. On any of the red, green, blue, and +1 color, so either the RGBWs or RGBA fixtures, so that'd be the puck RGBA, in any of the Qs, there's a 4-channel mode and a 7-channel mode. And then the 3-channel fixtures, the puck RGB, or the puck 3, there's a 3 and a 6-channel mode. They're both useful. It just depends on your application. If you're just doing uplighting and you have a simple 3 or 4-channel controller, you're probably going to want to use a 3-channel red, green, blue, or 4-channel red, green, blue, white, red, green, blue, amber mode. If you're using these theatrically or for a band or something and you want to take advantage of the built-in strobes, the chases, the full dimming, then you're going to want to use the extended 6 or 7-channel mode. Really easy to set them. Again, you can hit the menu button until you see CHMD channel mode and hit enter. Right now it's in 4-channel mode. If I hit up, it'll go to 7-channel mode. And again, I'm always going to hit enter to confirm. And then to get it back to where I just was, I'll hold down the menu button for about 2 or 3 seconds. And now we can double check that it has actually gone into 7-channel mode by going back there to CHMD channel mode, hitting enter, and now see it pops up in 7-channel mode. So I'll go ahead and set it back to 4-channel mode and hit enter. And hold on the menu button, and now we're back in 4-channel mode, ready to accept DMX and ready to accept just a red, green, blue, amber, or excuse me, red, green, blue, white color mixing profile. With that, I'm going to just share with you a couple other little tips and tricks that I've found, because as you might guess, I've seen thousands and thousands of these in about the past year, and after a while you just kind of start to have little tips and tricks that stand out to you. One thing that we hear a lot is, well, I plugged, pick a number, 20, 30 lights in together using the power out daisy chains, and the fuse keeps blowing. Well, the reason for that is that it's a fuse output in here, and that's to protect the fixture and you from being set on fire by having too much current go through it. There's a fuse inside this little holder right above the plug, and it is tied to this outlet. And if you plug too much into this outlet, you will blow the fuse. And trust me, that's much better than the alternative, which is having the fixture go up in flames or worse. It's there for a reason. You shouldn't try to defeat it. If you need to plug more than 4 to 5 light fixtures into the back here at a time, I would highly suggest that you split them up and you run one extension cord to every 5 fixtures and do it that way. Common sense should prevail here. It's a very thin cord. You would never plug, hopefully, you would never plug 15 of anything into the same socket, so don't do it here either. Other than that, just taking good care of these things is important. They are really well-built fixtures, they're metal, but the LEDs are fragile, and like any fragile piece of electronic equipment, if they're abused, they will eventually break. And it does happen. It doesn't happen a lot, but it can happen. So just I guess, my word of caution is just, treat them with respect and no respect to that. Okay, so real quickly, I swapped out the Puck Key 6W that I was using earlier for this Puck RGBA Unplugged. For those of you who don't know, these are we've got 3 lights now, the RGB, RGBA, and Puck 3 Unplugged that are battery operated, and they have the same DMX traits as the conventionally powered fixtures. Basically, they look pretty much the same as well. They're a little bit thicker, a little bit heavier because they have a lithium-ion battery in them. And then there's the switches on the back. I grabbed one of those instead, and I've got a wiCICLE here. The wiCICLE is our wireless DMX system. It works either as a receiver or a transmitter. We sell them with both genders, males and females, and then we also sell a product called wiCICLE, which can work with these systems as well. I'm going to show you how to use the wiCICLE with the Puck RGBA unplugged here, and how to use it with your other fixtures as well. One thing that's really cool about the RGB, RGBA, and Puck 3 unplugs, and we have it coming to some other fixtures as well pretty soon, is that these will power the wiCICLE right from the DMX jack without the need for an external power source. If you're using other fixtures, you will need to use the wall adapter, which comes with it. So, first thing I'm going to show you is without the power from the unplugged fixture, what it'll look like. And I've got a light caster set up in the back here, about 50 feet away, that's transmitting a simple fade pattern, fading from red to green to blue to amber. So what I'll do is I'll take the wiCICLE here, I'm going to plug in the power, and it starts out red, and that solid red color quickly changes to flashing green. What the solid red color tells you is that this is set to the first channel group of the wiCICLE system, which is red. Don't quote me on this, but I think it goes red, green, blue, and so on and so forth. There are seven different options. There's red, green, blue, cyan, yellow, magenta, and white. And each of those will correspond to a different channel group. The best way to tell which channel group you're on is to plug it in, unplug it, plug it back in, and the solid color will tell you what channel group it's on. Then you notice that it starts flashing green. That means that this wiCICLE is currently receiving signal. Like I said, off camera I set up a light caster in the back, and it's transmitting DMX, which the wiCICLE is receiving. Now, if this were acting as a transmitter, it would be flashing red. And no matter what channel group it's set on, receive, it's going to be flashing green, transmit, it's going to be flashing red. And basically, this is good to go now. If I plug this in, if I can unplug it from this, because this is going to get power from, the wiCICLE is going to get power right from the back of the unit here. I'll go ahead and turn on the battery on the RGBA unplugged here, and I'll plug the wiCICLE in. And you'll see now it's getting power, and now it has started to flash green. It switched into DMX mode automatically, and now it's doing this chase that I was talking to you about before. One thing I didn't show you, and this is really important if you're using wiCICLEs with pucks, I'm going to unplug this, and you'll notice that the fixture is in slave mode. Okay? That's really important. If you're using wiCICLEs with pucks, the fixtures need to be in slave mode. Now you're probably thinking, well, why? They're going to be in DMX mode. Well, that's right, except remember I told you that these were both transmitters and receivers. If I set this to a master, the wiCICLE is going to see the master signal, and it's going to start transmitting it. Now, that's really, really cool if you want to use the wiCICLes with the pucks in master-slave mode. Then you would break the rule. You would use one set in master with a wiCICLE being used as a transmitter, and the rest being used as receivers in slave mode. Otherwise, if you're using them in DMX mode, they need to be set as slaves. So just to recap, say this were set as a master, and now it's in sound active mode. It's a standalone sound active master. And I wanted to set it as a slave. I'd hit the menu button until I saw SLMD for slave mode and hit enter. I would use the up or down keys until I saw SLAB for slave and hit enter. And then I could either wait about 10 seconds, or I could hold on the menu button for 2 to 3 seconds, and there, now it says standby. Now it's ready to go to work with the wiCICLE. And then again, it's just as simple as you take it, plug it in, it powers up, and it's getting power directly from the unit, and then it starts flashing green. That means you're good to go. It's now receiving DMX, just like that, right on the lips. And that's pretty much all there is to using the wiCICLE as a receiver with the puck. Like I said, if you did want to use this as a transmitter, I can show you how to do that too. I'll go back here to SLMD for slave mode, and I'll go to master, enter to confirm, and hold down the menu button. And now I'm just going to quick unplug this, and it's in sound active mode. I'm going to plug it back in, and it's going to power up. And now you see instead of flashing green, it's flashing red, which means it's transmitting. Now if I had another wiCICLE set up in another one of these pucks, this one would be acting as the master, and all the pucks that were in line with it with wiCICLE set to the same channel group, we'll be doing the same thing. This can be well, not pretty, but it can get a little confusing if you don't know the trick about the master-slave settings. You'll be wondering why it's going to red. Again, reading the manual is definitely a good thing, and then just taking your time, kind of walking through things, I think is really, really good advice. That's